A person with advanced DNA, this is not just a biological term. It is, above all, a new type of consciousness. A consciousness arriving from the future into our space-time system to change it from within. The DNA of such a person possesses a built-in defense against wave radiation. It is capable of withstanding an increased level of electromagnetic radiation. As a result, such a person is immune to the technologies through which the will is suppressed and the consciousness of the general population is blocked. The radiation from cell towers, smartphones, routers, smart appliances, all of this is part of a global control network. But on some, it has no effect. It's all about the DNA, about the activity of certain strands. Today, we will talk about the so-called Indigo Children, about people who are born with active, higher DNA strands and who possess a matrix that far exceeds the standard 12-strand. They are different in their thinking and perception of reality, and they are the key to understanding the quiet war that is currently being waged for the future of humanity.
Part 1. The Bipolar Society. As a result of this genetic difference, we have a bipolar society. On one side, the minority, those who are not affected by propaganda and wave-based consciousness blocking. They see the lies, they feel the manipulation, they doubt the official narratives about the shape of the earth, about the nature of immunity, about the causes of wars. On the other side, the majority, those who believe everything they are told. They agree with everything. They are the stable, predictable mass necessary for the functioning of the system. This category includes both ordinary people with a basic DNA matrix and the hybrids created by hostile races, which we discussed in the previous installment. The person with advanced DNA, the Indigo, belongs to a completely different type of consciousness. They are under the constant, invisible protection of the code of reality itself, of the Creator. Their life seems to be protected from physical death. The reason lies in their DNA. It contains the genetic bank for the future of humanity. There are already millions of such people. They are meant to gradually mix with ordinary people, genetically updating them and moving them along the path of evolutionary development. They are part of a global genetic project that can be called Project Diamond Sun, a project in which man is to become the pinnacle of carbon-based evolution. This project is curated by a race of advanced beings from higher dimensions, from the fifth circle of reality.
Part 2. The Wars of Hybrids and the Immune System of the Creator. People with advanced DNA began to be born on our territory since the end of the 19th century after a global cataclysm. At first, in small waves of a few thousand. But foreseeing the capture of the human race during the activation of the stargates in our period, the Watchers sent more advanced souls here to fight. Since the 1950s, the number of Indigos born began to increase exponentially. And since the beginning of the 2000s, when the Stargate interface opened, a great many of them began to be born. One could say that people with advanced DNA are the immune cells in the body of the one Creator. They appear where the system begins to malfunction, to heal and normalize the space. Right now, a polarity alignment is underway. The aliens, by parasitizing the body of the Creator, have led to a huge imbalance. The holographic reality system must return to a state of harmony, or it will collapse. And the aliens know this. They are taking the most drastic measures to neutralize those in whom they see a threat. They are purposefully destroying the carriers of advanced DNA, especially children. Drug addiction, crime, abortions, castration, the poisoning of food and water, these are not random social problems. These are tools of genocide directed against the army of the Creator. Every Indigo soul before incarnating has undergone training and preparation. They carry within themselves the genetic potential, knowledge, and a set of tools to fight the invaders. The parasites, of course, do not like this. They want to be the main race here, controlling the stargates. They are ready to destroy anyone who stands in their way. Hence the inhumane cruelty and the purposeful extermination of the human race.
Part 3. The anatomy of an indigo. How can one distinguish an indigo from an ordinary person? Externally, in no way. They are different in their thinking and perception. They have a heightened sense of justice. They genetically remember what freedom is and instinctively despise any system of control. From birth, they have paranormal abilities, a sign of the activation of the 5th and 6th DNA strands. Those around them often consider them strange, not of this world. And this is true. They can be hypersensitive to electromagnetic radiation, light, or sound. But at the same time, they have enhanced regeneration and the ability to easily endure the absence of food. A powerful stream of energy from the Creator flows through their body. They are very emotionally vulnerable, and they have strong empathy, literally reading the thoughts and feelings of those around them. In childhood, this becomes a real curse for them. They cannot distinguish their own thoughts from others, which leads to developmental delays and social problems. Such children need support and a stable, loving environment to reach the second stage of transformation. The second stage begins in adolescence, around the age of 12. A waking up of consciousness occurs. In a few years, they far surpass their peers in intelligence and understanding of the world. They begin to take an interest in their spiritual potential, subconsciously knowing that they came here with a mission. The third stage is when an indigo fully realizes who they are and why they are here. They begin to actively try to change this world for the better, using their spiritual potential.
Part 4. Technologies of Control and the Philadelphia Experiment. Now about the technologies of control. Esoteric sources warned about chemtrails as a weapon of mass destruction 30 years ago. This is a two-component biochemical weapon capable of killing based on race. One component is sprayed and lies dormant in the body. The second, activating component is released later through medicine or the same chemtrails. It targets a specific type of DNA. This explains why politicians do nothing about chemtrails. They and their hybrids are simply not affected by them. But the main technology of control is the frequency wave barrier. In the mid-20th century, the American military conducted the so-called Philadelphia Experiment. The official goal was to create an invisibility field around a ship. They received the technology from the Greys, bio-robots with a hive consciousness, subordinate to the Draconian race. But the Greys deceived the military. They gave them the technology to open a portal between dimensions. The experiment was carried out. The ship disappeared, appeared in another place. Horrible things happened to the crew. Some were fused into the metal deck, others ended up in the future. The true purpose of the experiment was for the Greys to secretly bring their large relay ships from higher dimensions into our reality and place them in the intermediate space between our third and the astral fourth dimension. Above every metropolis hangs a huge UFO that we do not see, and 24 hours a day, it emits a radiation, a broadcast of a program to control the consciousness. The only ones who are not affected by this wave blocking are people with advanced DNA, whereas the bulk of the population has been under mass technogenic hypnosis since 2003.
Conclusion: the spiritual revolution. So what is to be done? No guns or rifles will help us. Our only weapon, which the aliens are terrified of, is our spiritual potential, our ability to change reality with the power of thought.
That is precisely why they are lulling us to sleep, making us passive and stupid, so that we cannot resist. Ancient teachings, like the Kathara, are not esoterica. They are the science of light, sound, and the one creator. It is a system of bio-spiritual evolution that teaches methods for scanning and repairing one's own DNA. A technique called the Maharata shield builds a pillar of silver light around our physical body, neutralizing any energy manipulations. Vaccines, emitters, all of this stops working because you are moving out of the frequency range at which the aliens' technologies operate. What the aliens fear most is not our physical revolution, but our spiritual revolution, the full realization of our DNA potential. Esoteric sources have warned that a time will come when it will be impossible to travel between cities due to high levels of radiation. Perhaps they were not talking about radioactive, but about electromagnetic radiation from towers and cables. And only people with advanced DNA will be able to move through the forests and mountains to transmit information from person to person. The battle is on, and it is being waged within each of us. The choice is yours, to remain a sleeping element of the system or to become a warrior of light who came here to restore balance and harmony to this world.